This is Raja from XPRO Elementor Addons. In this video, I will show you how to easily create headlines that come alive, grab people's attention, and practically write themselves. Using the animated headline Elementor Pro widget by XPRO. Headlines are super important for your website because they're the first thing people actually notice, and with this widget, you've got the power to create amazing headlines. That could be the reason people stop scrolling and actually pay attention. Let me show you some examples. See how they have nicely used this animated headline to show their brand name with the services they offered, or display your happy clients on your website. You have endless opportunities. To use this widget, you need to buy and activate the Pro version of XPRO Elementor. You can find detailed video on our YouTube channel. Now let's get started. Here you can see this website with this animated headline. It looks amazing, doesn't it? You might be wondering how the school of it comes into place. Let's create it together. Let's get started. Go ahead and search for the Advanced Elementor Animated Headline Widget by XPRO in the search panel. Then simply drag and drop it onto the template where you want it to appear. Now what you are seeing is the default view of the XPRO Elementor animated headline widget, but don't worry, you can customize it to your liking. Under the Content tab, there is Title, Subtitle, Description, Icon, Separator, and Shadow Text. Let's start by playing with the title. In the Title drop-down menu, you will find three options: Title Before, Animated Title, and Title After. The Title Before section, let's enter a name. How about I'm Bob Dillard? Now let's move on to the animated title where the magic happens. Here you can add multiple text. It will animate one after the other. Type in the words you want to animate, separating each with a comma. For example, I'll enter UI UX designer, programmer, coder. This will highlight each skill in turn. Next, we will look at the title after section. I don't need any text after the animated title, so I'm deleting it. You can use it if you like. After the titles comes the link feature where you can link this animated headline with another page of website by simply typing contact here and selecting it, copying the website's page link and pasting it. Pretty cool, right? Next to the link is the link settings. If you like the link to open in a new window, then select this open in new window option. If not, then leave it as it is. Then there is add no follow, which tells the search engine not to follow the link. I'm going to enable it since I want to maximize the visibility of my website page. Then comes custom attributes, with which you can assign some key value to perform some function like download, but I'm not using it, so let's not go into deep. Up next are HTML tags, which are important for organizing your web page structure. The H1 tag is the most important, while H6 is the least. It helps give your content a clear structure. It makes it easier for search engine to understand. I'm selecting H1 for the title. Moving on to the subtitle. Toggle the switch to show option if you want the subtitle, and if you don't want it, then switch it to hide. By selecting the show option, you can see the other subtitle options. Enter the subtitle in the subtitle text field. Let's add a personal touch with Hello World to give our portfolio a friendly feel. the HTML tag. After the tag section, you will find a position option where you can choose whether the subtitle appears before or after the title, like this. Since we are adding a greeting, it makes sense to place it before the name, so selecting before to position the greeting right at the top. Okay, the subtitle is also done. Moving forward to the description. Just like the subtitle, you can decide if you like to have a description or not by playing with the show description option. Enter your description text in the field. I'm going to add a summary of skills. And format it the way you like with this light version of Word. Let's explore some. Here you can see is the media option where you can add any image, audio, link or even video in the description. Let's insert this image. It will appear like this. Under the paragraph tab, we have multiple heading styles to select from. You can select whatever you like. I'm selecting a paragraph for the description. Then we have bold, italic, underline, bullets, and numbers if you want to show your description in steps. Link if you want to link a specific text to another website or additional details like this. And if you don't want to, then just unlink it from here. In the format, there is block code. If you have included a code in your description, it appears with one tab space, highlighting it from the surrounding text like this. The cite element is used when referencing text from another source. Also, you can add special characters from this chart. The description is sorted. Moving forward to the icon. If you would like to display an icon with the heading, switch it to show in the show icon option. If not, then hide it. You're getting the hang of it, right? You can either select an icon or upload an SVG. Select an icon from this icon library. You have variety to select from, like this one. Select the position of the icon from the drop-down menu. Have fun playing around with it. I don't want any icon, so disabling it. Next up is the separator, which separates a title from the description. You can show or hide the separator from this option. Select the style for the separator from the drop-down menu. You can opt for text where you can enter text or select an icon. Set the position of the separator either before the title or after it. It's totally up to you. It looked fine without the separator, so switching it to hide. Finally, we can adjust the shadow text. You can choose to display or hide it. The shadow text is a great way to highlight your brand name or add a creative touch. For example, you could display your name in the shadow, like Bob Dylan, for a cool aesthetic effect. Its color needs to be changed a bit, which we will do in the Styling tab. This is a fantastic way to make your brand name stand out and add a unique touch to your headline. The HTML tag for it is set to H3 by default, keeping it as it is. Oh, the Content tab is completed. Now let's jump into the Styling tab to do some styling. In the General section of Styling, you will find the Width option. You can adjust the headline width by dragging the slide bar or typing in a specific value in the digit box. Easily increase or decrease the values with the small arrows. The default value of 600 looks great, so you may not need to make any changes. Next up is the headline alignment, left, center or right. I am setting it to left for a clean, organized look. Next up, I will start by styling the animated title. I will take care of the others later since the animated title is the main focus for now. Exciting options to turn your boring headings into exciting ones. You can select from 20 plus text animations. Play around these options till you get the options you like. I love the rotating effect, it looks stylish and appealing. Make the animation go slower or faster by adjusting the animation speed from here. By 4, no too slow. 2, it's a bit fast. 3 seems just right. In the typography section, pick the font for the animated title. Here you have multiple fonts to select from. I'm going for Francis. It looks classic and stylish, giving the text a unique and elegant touch. Change the size of the title by moving the slide bar or typing in a number directly. Let's try 60 pixels. That seems a bit small. How about 70 pixels? Yes, that looks good. Now let's adjust how bold the animated title looks from this weight option. There are options like 100 for very light and bold for very thick. I like 600, it looks just right. Then there is transform where we have uppercase in which all letters are capital. Lowercase, opposite of uppercase. Wait a minute. Oh, I used an extra slash rather than I for UI. Sorry for that. Now it looks good. Back to the transform. Then we have capitalize. Going with normal. For the text style, there is normal, italic, oblique. Italic and oblique are similar. Oblique is smoother. I'm selecting default. You can also add decorations like underline, overline, and line through. And if you don't want any, then just click on none. Adjust the lines of the height using this slide bar. Next, adjust the spacing between the letters like this. And then adjust the spacing between words from this word spacing slide bar. Next is the text stroke. That is a border-like outline around the text. You can increase or decrease the number of strokes from this text stroke option. I'm keeping it at 2. You can also select the color for the text stroke from this color option. I don't want any color, so resetting it. It looks attractive without the color. Let's discuss the text shadow next. It's a bit like adding a hint of magic to your text, making it look extra cool. Select the shadow color from here. If you want to make the edges softer, you can adjust the blur value. Then play around with the horizontal and vertical directions until it looks just how you want. I'm keeping it at default. Next comes the color type option for the text. Here you can either go for a classic color or a gradient. Let's try the classic color. Now the gradient, selecting color 1 and now color 2. Use the sidebars to adjust the color locations. You can also pick between linear and radial in gradient types. With linear, set the angle, and with radial, adjust its position. If you don't want a gradient, then just remove it. This tool lets you style things exactly how you like. Pretty neat, huh? Next is the border type. You have many options like solid, dotted, dash. It will appear around the title like this. You're just one click away from adding a border without spending a penny time on designers. I like the solid. You can adjust the border width by increasing or decreasing it from here. You can even unlink it and adjust it separately. I'm keeping it at 2 from all sides. And here is the color option for the border. You can select any color you like. I'm going for the same color as the text. Adding border radius gives your border a softer look and adds a stylish touch. Want rounded edges? Just type in values like 20 or 50. For softer edges, try 5 or 10. You can even customize size differently by unlinking them. This tool gives you full freedom, and it's super easy. I just want a bit soft edges, so 5 pixels it is. Next step is padding. Padding is the distance between the empty spaces. You can increase and decrease it from here. It needs different padding, so unlinking it. 20 to the right. 10 to the bottom, 20 to the left as well. Adjust the margins for the animated title. It needs margin from the top only, so unlinking it, adding 10, doubling it, 20 pixels it is. The animated title is done. Let's move to the others now. Customize the title's appearance. You can choose to match the animated title style or create a unique look by adjusting font, size, and other options. I'm keeping it consistent with the animated title using the same font, setting the size to 70 pixels and the weight to 600, not changing anything else, but if you like to, you can do it. Next is the text stroke for the title. Just like animated title, increase the text strokes from here. I don't want it, so I'm keeping it at default. Next, the text shadow that will appear like this. Play around with the color for the text shadow. Adjust the blur values, horizontal and vertical directions, keeping it at default. Next is the color type. You can either go for classic or gradient. Let's try the classic. Black, nice. Now the gradient. I'm sticking with the classic color. Black complements the animated title and the background color. Next is the background type, where you can go for a classic, gradient, or even image as a background. Let's try the classic first. And now the gradient. Now the image. You can select from the media library. You can also upload it from your desktop if you have one stored in your computer. Let's insert this one from the media library. Set the image resolution from its drop-down menu. Now let's talk about positioning. You have got lots of options to experiment with here. Next step is attachment. If you want the image to scroll along with the page, choose scroll. If you want it to stay fixed in one place, go for fixed, your call. Moving on to repeat. If you don't want the image to repeat, then go for no repeat. And if you want to repeat, then just hit on the repeat. If you want the image to repeat horizontally, then go for repeat X. And for vertically, go for repeat Y. And display size, how do you want your image to appear? There are tons of options to select from. Just select your favorite. Another cool feature is masking. It hides the image outside of the text, displaying images within the text like this. Oh, it looks pretty cool now, right? Oh, you can also insert a GIF. Let's try for the GIF. Oh, let me adjust some settings for it. It looks cute, right? I'm sticking with the default color. If you like to have a border for the title, let me increase the width so it can be more visible. I'm selecting default in the border type. Next, adjust the padding for the title. 1 from all sides. Now the margins only from the top. Let's try 20. Adding 10 more. Perfect. Now on to subtitle. In the typography, same font says. Size a bit smaller than the title. 50. No. 40. Weight 600. Text shadow, keeping it at default. Color black. Now if you like to have a background color, then go for classic or gradient. I don't need it, so deleting it. I don't need border and border radius, so skipping it. Adding 1 from all sides. Margins only from the top. 20 it is. The subtitle is all set. Let's move on to the description. Font says. Since it's description, so size smaller than the title, and increasing it to 60. Cool. Weight something light, 400. Color black. Setting the description margins. Again, only to the top, 20 pixels. Wow, we're almost there. We just need to handle the shadow text. Let's finish this up and wrap it all together. First, typography. On font size. Size 100, no, 120. Too big. Decreasing it to 116. Perfect. Weight. A lighter weight so it doesn't overshadow the subtitle. 400 it is. Want to give the text shadow an outline? Simply switch the toggle to show and choose a stroke color that you love. Adjust the thickness of the stroke from the stroke width option, and if you don't like it, then just switch it off like I did. Choose the shadow color that best complements your design. Go for a classic solid color or experiment with a gradient. I'm going for a subtle look with a slightly transparent black shadow. Next up is the background type if you like to have one. It looks well without the background. Then there is transform. Here you can display the shadow text horizontally or vertically. Adjust its rotation. Select the transform origin from this drop-down menu. I'm keeping it at default. Up next is the CSS filter that improves the visual smoothly. Puts different filters like blur, which adjusts how blurry or sharp an image appears. The brightness filter adjusts the brightness level of the text. The contrast filter changes how dark or bright parts of a text look. You can make the colors of a text more or less intense by adjusting the saturation filter. The hue filters allow you to modify the color of the text. If you like the text shadow to have a border, then select the border from here. Increase the thickness. Let's select a border color so that it can be visible. I'm selecting default. Lastly, adjust the padding for the text shadow. I'm leaving it as it is since it looks perfect now. That's it. Let's have a look. This is what you can do with this advanced amazing widget by XPRO. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing videos.